What's up, guys? Barry Game here, back with some more AFK Journey, and today we're going to be talking about this trio that we use in almost every single game mode now. And it's kind of weird because I know we've been talking about Fresto, Harak, Reinir, all those types of Hypogen heroes so much, and this one actually includes a Celestial that is honestly still, even after Harak came out, still my favorite hero in the game. And that main portion here is going to be Talene. Talene is just absolutely amazing in the fact that she can just currently just resurrect over and over again. The best part about Talene is you get her three main abilities when you first unlock her, and to be honest, she's one of the few celestial hypogens you don't need to go crazy. You don't even need to go for heroic, like hero focus at legendary plus. You don't need to go for pyre at mythic plus, and you definitely don't really need to go to enhanced force. It doesn't, of course, increase her HP recovery, which means more resurrections, but all of our kit that we need for this combo comes in the form of this. And the real winner out of this, so like there's one of the other old heroes you guys saw the thumbnail, Damian. The fact that he can constantly be chucking out additional chariots is what really makes this team pop and go good. But the newest hero that has been really meta shaking that hasn't been a celestial hypogen is Tasi. We kind of had a mixed bag of feelings about her because, again, we typically more focus on heroes that are dream realm related, and Tasi is absolutely positively nothing to do with bosses. She doesn't do boss damage. What she does do is this hypnotizing all enemies on the battlefield, which is absolutely amazing. And the fact that, well, when she does drop below 50% of her HP, she goes into this, like, I mean, you can see it right here, like fog form, almost butterfly form, and then she will resurrect herself and let herself keep comboing off. So having a hero like Tasi with Talene and Damian is really big because that combo right there just keeps you going so much. And I'm talking about, like, we use her in every different game mode. I've been using her in this too, even in, oh, I used up all my tokens. I've been using her in so many, like she's usable in so many Durst trials, which is such a huge big deal. We use her even in, you know, our AFK battle stages. She's an absolutely amazing teammate. Now, granted, in the one team that I'm using right here, I don't have her them paired up with the Damian, but we could very easily make this swap right here. We could just do the swapperoo like this, put you over here, put the Damian on this team here, and the way that it works, it just works out so stinking well. I want to change our locations of some heroes here. That's a weird one. But yeah, the fact that even if your tanks and everybody else go down very, very quickly, these heroes are going to be able to stay on the battlefield a lot. So you can see right there, Tasi got a huge hit and she didn't get one shot. So that means she keeps herself going. She can run around the battlefield, CC. Now, this is a very bad situation because there is a Vala on the battlefield. And yeah, that's not a great combo. But if we can keep these heroes going and comboing off, they basically just keep resurrecting and buying time for each other. Talene can keep resurrecting. We can get more chariots with more healing out on the battlefield. We can, of course, get more of those Tasi little survivability moments here, and then we can have our other team being like the Fresto, Harak, Lily May, really strong heroes that kind of do really good single target damage, that do snowball and do some crazy stuff. But really, I want to talk about the Tasi combo. Let's jump into one more fight here. I want to show it off one more time because, my goodness, I just love the combo so much. The fact that they buy time for each other, it's probably one of my favorite things in this game right now. And again, even though I love watching Harak do Harak things, doing these crazy combos, being honestly pretty overpowered for high investment into the hero, that's cool. But I do feel like the Tasi Talene team is a little bit more budget because you don't necessarily need Talene all the way maxed out. So let's take a look at this team again one more time. Let's try to speed it up a little bit, get to a little bit later in the battle here. And you can see Tasi is going to be blinking around here. She does get, and she does take a lot of damage. That's one thing she does do. But the fact that she can come back and resurrect is a really, really cool feature. And then, of course, you see Damian about to put out the chariot to keep Talene hopefully going. Talene did go down, which is a little sad. But you're about to see here Tasi with her ultimate is going to be pretty game changing. And it's just really nice because they buy each other time between these invulnerabilities, these invincibilities, the resurrections, and all these different combos here. One of my favorite PvP teams right now includes that team as well. Granted, I have recently dropped the Talene out for Harak for a lot of the battles that I'm doing. You can see here, this is actually one of the ones where I left them all in, but I dropped out the Damian. I'll show you guys this in PvP too, because this is kind of a cool team I like doing. It feels like sometimes in PvP, Damian is falling off a little bit, but he's very easy to build, very easily acquirable, and especially on Arena 5 Special, I love this team because you put both Tasi and Talene on the ultimate squares, or hexagons, and one of them is going to get their ultimate off even with a Lily May on the other side of the battlefield. And you can see there's just like the resurrections, the buying time for each other. I've been using this team quite a bit. This is kind of what I've been using more often than not, which of course doesn't have the Talene, but I do feel like if you don't have Harok built, this team works like the Talene version sometimes works even better. It really just comes down to what the enemy has on the battlefield. But as you guys can see, this is just absolutely crazy how they just buy time for each other on this. And the fact that Damian can constantly put this chariot out, he can do a little bit of AoE damage, he can stun the furthest target back, he's giving haste to the allies. Yeah, this just ends up being some absolute crazy nonsense that I love. So let me jump into a couple fights right here so you guys can see the combo live. So this is typically the team I run right now, but putting the Talene in as well is very, very solid. I do love using Enlightening Spell or one of those types of abilities with a Tasi on the battlefield. Now this is a DNL team, so I don't know how well this is going to go, but getting energy and hopefully not having Tasi die off very quickly. Oh, see, sometimes you can still get completely one-shot if the other team has a super powerful hero like the DNL, so you really have to be careful about what teams you're going up against. DNL teams are still absolutely lethal, but just keep that in mind. A lot of the teams that I'm running in a lot of these different game modes, even like Supreme Arena, a lot of times I'll actually have them together, so it's really, really fun to do. But if you guys want to use this combo, one thing I will recommend, if you set up your defense on Arena 5 Special, putting your Talene and your Tasi on these two squares or hexagons ends up being very, very good. And you see right here, I've put Harok in just because he's very, very strong. Putting the Damian in here can be just as good. Keeping a hero like Lily May, who stops those ultimates on the enemy team, and Fresto, again, just such a good overall tank hero. Can feed energy or boost energy gain for your heroes, can also give damage reduction. This is the go-to right here, except of course, like, Harok can be removed from this team. You can add the Damian in, and it just feels like such a solid trio of heroes. I just haven't seen one as good in such a long time. And again, I feel like everybody is going for Damian very early on. He's just one of the best A levels in the game for supporting. Very, very strong. Talene, like I said, you only need minimal investment to get the real use out of her of resurrecting over and over again. And I do think, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later on, if you guys haven't built Tasi this season, it might be the time to actually take that S level trade-in ticket, that swap ticket, and maybe use it on Tasi. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what type of teams you're using Tasi on as well. There's even some other teams I've seen that are really crazy with like Rowan, with this just like energy feed combo, which is really, really solid. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys next time.